Narcissists will do this when they feel you are slipping away. Have you ever noticed that when you finally stop chasing a narcissist, they suddenly start paying attention again? The person who once seemed distant begins reaching out and acting far more interested than before. The messages become more frequent, the attitude softens, and they start looking for ways to pull you back into their world. What seemed like indifference quickly turns into unexpected effort and attention. What many people do not realize is that narcissists often become most active when they feel they are losing control. Your emotional dependence gives them a sense of power, validation, and importance. When they sense you are slipping away, they rarely let go without a reaction. Instead, they often use specific behaviors to regain your attention and emotional investment. Understanding these behaviors can help you see what is really happening beneath the surface. It also helps protect you from being drawn back into unhealthy patterns. One of the first things a narcissist does when they feel you are slipping away is become unusually attentive. They suddenly show interest in ways they may not have for a very long time. The person who ignored your needs or dismissed your feelings may start checking in regularly. They begin acting as though the relationship suddenly means everything to them. This change can feel confusing because it reflects the behavior you wanted all along. However, it often appears only when they sense they are losing influence over you. The timing matters because the shift is usually driven by fear of losing control. It is often not the result of genuine personal growth or change. Another common behavior is love bombing, where they overwhelm you with affection and attention. Compliments, promises, and emotional intensity suddenly become impossible to ignore. They may remind you of happy memories, praise you constantly, or discuss a future together. Conversations they once avoided suddenly become a major focus. These actions can make it seem like things are finally improving. In reality, the goal is often to rebuild your emotional attachment before you fully detach. Narcissists understand that strong emotions can cloud judgment and weaken boundaries. They use that emotional pull to draw you back into the connection. When attention and affection are not enough, they may begin portraying themselves as the victim. This tactic is designed to trigger your empathy and compassion. They may talk about how difficult life has become, or how misunderstood they feel. Their struggles suddenly become the center of every conversation. This approach works especially well on caring and empathetic people. It shifts attention away from their behavior and toward their apparent suffering. Instead of focusing on why you pulled away, you may start feeling guilty. You may even feel responsible for helping them feel better. Another thing narcissists often do is bring up the past in an emotional and selective way. They focus on memories that make the relationship seem special and meaningful. They may remind you of vacations, inside jokes, or moments when you felt deeply connected. These memories are used to reignite emotional attachment. The goal is not usually to solve current problems or address real issues. It is to make leaving feel harder by reconnecting you to positive emotions. By highlighting the best moments, they encourage you to overlook painful patterns. The focus shifts away from the reasons you want to distance. Sometimes the narcissist takes a different route and creates subtle jealousy. They want you to compete for their attention once again. They may mention other people showing interest in them or post carefully chosen content online. These actions are often meant to provoke an emotional reaction. Their goal is to make you fear losing them before you fully move on. They want you questioning your decision instead of protecting your well-being. This tactic shifts your focus from healing and growth to winning them back. It keeps you emotionally invested in the relationship. As your independence grows, many narcissists become more interested in your life. They want to know whether their influence over you still exists. They may watch your social media more closely or ask mutual friends about you. Sometimes they find excuses to reconnect after long periods of silence. What looks like curiosity is often something deeper. They are trying to measure whether you are moving on emotionally. The stronger and more independent you become, the more uncomfortable they may feel. Your growth reduces their ability to control or manipulate the relationship. Another common behavior is the sudden promise of change when you are ready to leave. They claim they finally understand your concerns and mistakes. The narcissist may insist they are ready to become a better partner, friend, or family member. Their promises often arrive at the exact moment you are pulling away. While genuine change is possible, real transformation takes time and consistency. It requires effort that continues long after the crisis has passed. Many people become trapped because they mistake desperate words for lasting change. Promises alone are not proof of accountability or growth. In some situations, the narcissist becomes angry when softer tactics fail. Affection is replaced with criticism, blame, or emotional pressure. They may accuse you of being selfish, cold, or unwilling to fight for the relationship. These accusations are meant to make you question yourself. Rather than examining the relationship honestly, you may begin doubting your own judgment. That uncertainty can make it easier for them to regain influence. The goal is often to weaken your confidence and boundaries. Returning may start to feel easier than standing firm. A narcissist may also try to re-enter your life through indirect methods. They look for ways to stay present when direct contact no longer works. They may involve mutual friends, family members, or shared social circles. These connections help keep them in your awareness. Sometimes they create opportunities for accidental encounters or send harmless-looking messages. The real purpose is often to reopen communication. These actions allow them to maintain a connection without revealing their true intentions. They hope to prevent complete emotional separation. Perhaps the most confusing tactic is temporarily becoming the person you always wanted them to be. They suddenly display qualities that seemed missing before. They may listen more carefully, respect your boundaries, and show greater affection. Their behavior can feel surprisingly genuine and convincing. This temporary transformation often validates everything you hoped for from the beginning. It creates the impression that lasting change has finally arrived. However, real change is measured through long-term consistency, not short bursts of effort. True growth remains even when there is no fear of losing you. What many people eventually discover is that a narcissist fears losing control more than losing the relationship. The attention, validation, and influence matter deeply to them. When you stop chasing, explaining, and proving your worth, the dynamic begins to shift. Their usual source of emotional supply becomes less available. That change often triggers many of the behaviors discussed throughout this video. They react because they sense their influence is fading. Understanding this reality helps you see their actions more clearly. It allows you to respond with awareness instead of confusion. The most important thing to remember is that genuine commitment is consistent. Someone who truly values you does not wait until they are losing you to show care and respect. Healthy relationships are built through steady effort, accountability, and mutual concern. They are not sustained by temporary changes driven by fear. When you learn to recognize the difference between growth and manipulation, you become far less vulnerable. Emotional tactics lose much of their power over you. And sometimes, the moment a narcissist realizes you are slipping away is the moment you finally begin finding your way back to yourself.